at so many training events, I've heard that people come to you to take your services, and then they kind of say that they've been following you for months and months, and you know that they haven't interacted with anything that you've ever posted. But then it's kind of like literally living with stalkers all the time. Why is that kind of the accepted norm now, that we live with the fact that we know that people are stalking us and they are our potential customers? That is just a little bizarre to understand. But what's your take on that?
Well, obviously, there's a lot of focus on metrics. What are you posting? How many people are viewing it? How many people are liking it? How many people are commenting on it? And that's a sort of benchmark. I'm not saying you shouldn't do it, but you'd be surprised indeed how many people ultimately use your services, that they come up to you in an event or they sign up, that have never liked any of your posts, have never commented, have never shared, but they are there in the background. I've always struggled with consistency when it comes to messaging, especially because I'm now working what I refer to as my latest corporate contract alongside the podcast, which can be daunting at times. But I really focused as of sort of the beginning of summer on putting something out there every day.
Right.
It was just a few lines in the realm of messaging. If you were to ask me, I did it on LinkedIn, Instagram, recently restarted on Facebook. If they would ask me, have you seen likes going up or comments going up? I didn't. But my podcast agency, because I always refer to the podcast, I always put out a link to the podcast, saw the podcast moving up in the ranking, UK
Okay,
podcast.
that's interesting.
So it had an effect that you couldn't see through your socials, but it was there in the podcast ranking. So they contacted me and they said, whatever you're doing, keep on doing it because it's working. Because the ultimate goal for me was to get people on the podcast, not for them to like or comment. Keep that in mind. There is an ultimate goal that you would love to help the people. And
Yes.
It's not just about the likes and the comments. If you think that that is the one benchmark, then you are losing out. You really are. Keep showing up.
Sorry, this bit
people
of
will
advice
come
is
to you.
gold. This bit of advice of, the consistency. I think that the way you explained why the consistency is so important is the best bit of advice for visibility. Because, all sorts of people tell you, in a lot of training, be visible, post every day. But it's so overwhelming. But when you now shared the knock-on effect of it and why it's less important to look at the metrics on the social media channels, but then look at your business as a whole, how your podcast rankings have gone up and potentially your customers are actually coming through that channel, then it makes so much more sense of why doing it. Because, posting on social media is such a drag. It's the constant, what do I do? And indeed, you get completely bogged down with the metrics. But I'm so pleased you said this. It's putting my mind to rest anyhow, that you don't have to be bogged down with the metrics.
It's not like it's never important, but it's not the only sign that you are getting your message out there. And what I did, I work with AI. One of my sort of pet peeves is use AI, never have it replace your voice and never be sort of intimidated by it. So what I did, in my voice, I prepared a guide, a freebie about certain elements of how to get a concise message or sale page comprised around your story.
Right.
So there's certain elements to there. It's like call to action and benefits behind the benefits. Your story is your unique selling point. So that is my voice. And I gave that to ChatGPT and I said, give me like 4 to 5 sentences of daily prompts for a period of X. And I love to put in a seasonal flavor. I said, this is going out over summer. Could we make it a bit more sunny, beachy? And it did. So what I ended up with was a sort of daily prompt library, which is still basically my voice because it utilized my knowledge